Pakistan and the theatre of the absurd, two things that seem to go hand in hand. For decades, Pakistan nurtured the Taliban, training, arming, and collaborating with the group that's now ruling Afghanistan. One might think this relationship would pay dividends for Pakistan, giving it strategic depth and influence over its war-torn neighbor. But reality tells a different story. Today, far from benefiting Pakistan, the Taliban has become its biggest headache. The cross-border strikes and rising tensions along the Durand line are proof that the Taliban is now biting the hand that once fed it. Let's rewind to Christmas 2024. The Pakistan Air Force launches airstrikes in Afghanistan's Paktika province, targeting Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan hideouts. Pakistan claimed success, stating that several TTP leaders were killed. But the Taliban hit back, accusing Pakistan of killing 46 civilians, mostly women and children. The Taliban then retaliated with its own strikes against Pakistan. And what was Pakistan's response? Silence. It pretended the Taliban's counterattacks never even happened. Now, amidst all this chaos, India chose to step in. The Ministry of External Affairs was quick to condemn Pakistan's aggression against Afghanistan. What made the statement significant was its support for Taliban's claims, highlighting civilian casualties caused by Pakistan's strikes. On January 8th, India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri met with Taliban Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi in Dubai. This was the highest level of engagement between India and the Taliban since their takeover in 2021. This engagement was a rude awakening for Pakistan. Editorials in its leading dailies like The Dawn and The Express Tribune revealed growing anxiety over India's moves in Afghanistan. One op-ed bluntly stated that Pakistan now faces a two-front threat from India in the east and Afghanistan in the west. For decades, Pakistan and China tried to threaten India with the prospect of a two-front war. But today, the tables have turned. While India is mending ties with China, Pakistan is stuck battling the Taliban and the TTP on its western border. 2024 was a particularly devastating year for Pakistan. Terror attacks surged, with the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan emerging as a major threat. Over 900 Pakistanis, both civilians and security forces, were killed in terror attacks last year. This isn't just a case of chickens coming home to roost. It's Pakistan's entire coop collapsing. While Pakistan struggles, India has played its cards wisely. Afghanistan has always been critical to India's strategic and economic interests. From development projects to humanitarian aid, India's investments in Afghanistan have always been substantial. And now, with China eyeing Kabul as part of its Belt and Road Initiative, India knows it cannot afford to lose ground. India's meeting with Taliban leaders resulted in agreements to support Afghan healthcare and refugee rehabilitation. This also includes using the Chabahar Port for trade and humanitarian aid. Contrast this with Pakistan, which has forcibly deported nearly 500,000 Afghan refugees, worsening Kabul's crisis. India's approach is clear-eyed and pragmatic. Ideological differences aside, New Delhi recognizes that the Taliban is here to stay. By engaging with them, India secures its interests, counters China's influence, and sidelines Pakistan. Meanwhile, Pakistan's dream of strategic depth has turned into a nightmare. Decades of duplicity are now yielding destructive consequences. For Pakistan, the message is clear. Actions have consequences. And for India, it's a reminder that in geopolitics, strategy always trumps sentiment. In the theatre of geopolitics, Pakistan's chaotic script has left it cornered. while India continues to play a calculated and strategic game.